Hello, beautiful souls. So I heard a train in the background. There is a train that runs through not too far, I guess, from where I am at the moment. And I took that as a sign that it was the right time to hit record and start this video. Something about the energy that I'm getting in the air feels really raw, and I don't know how to quite find the words to describe it, but I really wanted to come on and just share whatever wants to come through, because I'm getting that feeling that there is some kind of message that does want to come through. And so I'm recording this really late at night, and after this, I am going to be going to sleep. So I just always feel that there's a different energy in the air this time of night, and I really want to tap into the quantum field for our collective and just see what's going on. Now, there is something I want to say that I'm getting now as a bit of a download when it comes to this sort of like raw, emotionally charged feeling. I feel that I am speaking to a person who has found themselves being like pushed past previous limits in some kind of way. I feel as though you've been inspired lately to push yourself past certain limitations or barriers, or it's almost like you are uncomfortably at times expanding into this new version of yourself. And I say uncomfortably not because it's a bad thing, because I actually feel like this is everything that you've ever wanted. This version of you that you're becoming, you've been working towards for a really long time. But the reason I say it's uncomfortable is it almost seems to like push you to the very edge of your comfortability, if that makes sense. It's like, I just keep picking up there's someone who is being pushed outside of their comfort zone to do or to like show up as the person that they want to be, to do the things that they want to do. It's like you're being pushed right to your own limits, but you're allowing it to happen because you recognize, I'm hearing you're stretching. That's the right word. Like you are stretching. And just like when you're stretching the physical body, and at times there can be temporary physical pain or like a slight feeling of discomfort while you're stretching, the release after the stretch causes you to feel lighter, looser, more open. And I'm getting that metaphorically, you are being stretched in certain ways at this time. And there's like this temporary feeling of almost discomfort, but then overall it's pushing you into places that you want to go. And I'm getting that when you stretch past a limitation that you had in the past, even if it is something that you are excited about or something that you want, or like a version of yourself that you've been wanting to express or become, it's completely normal to actually feel a bit of a crash initially, like a lot of emotions that come to the surface, because I'm also getting this feeling of someone getting like really amped up or excited for something, like heart maybe racing, a lot of adrenaline, a lot of excitement. You're pushing yourself outside of a comfort zone. And then immediately after, you may feel a little bit of a crash, but that's actually completely normal, because what's happening here is you are pushing yourself beyond previous limitations, which actually means that you are growing and expanding really rapidly. And I am getting this message from someone's spirit guides that if you were to look back like 3, 4, 5 years ago and think of that version of yourself, and imagine that version of yourself looking at you now and seeing the things that you are doing and the way that you are showing up for yourself and the way you're showing up in the world and the leaps of faith that you're taking, the way that you're stretching yourself. Younger you would have been just purely astounded to see where you are now. And so I'm hearing it's working. Like you may be wondering, am I truly growing? Am I truly evolving? Am I making progress? But if you look back, the progress is so evident. And so it may even be a helpful exercise just to look back on your life like several years ago and to recognize just how far you've become. I'm hearing you've had to fight for this version of you. And I actually mean that like almost literally. I feel you've had to fight your inner shadow. You've had to maybe even face conflict externally with other people or situations that you had to maybe step away from or set boundaries with in order to protect this version of you. I feel like you've literally had to fight for it. And you've earned becoming this version of you. And now it's here. And there may actually be these emotions surfacing around it. The feeling I keep getting is like something amazing happening, or you taking some kind of step forward, or like meeting an amazing person, maybe like romantically, or a new friend, or getting a new job or a new opportunity, or making some kind of progress, but then suddenly feeling a crash afterwards, like getting very emotional, feeling really raw. And I'm hearing that is a sign that you are progressing. Be so proud of yourself and how far you've come. So let's go ahead and start shuffling just to see what wants to come up here. Let me know in the comments if you've been feeling any of this. I know that this message tonight is really specific, and I almost didn't even come on to do this reading, but I really felt pushed to do it. It's not a time that I would typically record, but I really felt like this is something someone needed to hear today. So, whoa, a card came flying out. Okay, so this card is the cornucopia card. So this is the 1111 card, the card of manifestation. I just pick up that, let's get some other cards first. The journey card in the upright position. I'm hearing embrace the journey. The temple path card. Yeah, you are aligned with your highest timeline. Whenever I see this card, I always just want to say, you are on the right path. These are three of the most beautiful cards in this entire deck. I just have to say that right away because they represent you progressing along some kind of journey, being really aligned with a higher version of yourself and manifesting so many things that you've been wanting in the process of all of that. Can I get any other clarification here? Yeah, I'm hearing let it continue to unfold. So these moments where you start to feel old fears resurfacing or old patterns resurfacing, I'm hearing that they're coming up because you actually have the space to hold them now. And as you allow yourself to feel them, you're letting yourself release them as well. It's almost like when you are experiencing this resurgence of fear or something coming back up for you emotionally, of course, the tendency would be through the conscious mind to label it as a negative thing or even to worry that you are backsliding in some kind of way. But I'm hearing that the opposite is true. The fact that these old patterns and fears are resurfacing is actually a sign that you've expanded yourself to the point where you are now able to hold these emotions in a different kind of way and to feel them, and through feeling them to release them. I also feel as though I'm hearing the start of something beautiful. Maybe you're starting something beautiful, or this next phase of your life is just meant to be really beautiful, and you're being encouraged to not allow yourself to turn back just because you are feeling some of these old emotions coming up for you. With the Page of Swords in the upright position, the Knight of Cups upright, the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so I'm getting a very specific message for someone that is love related, and I know that this is going to get super specific, so I might just be speaking to one or two people here, but I am actually picking up on someone who has encountered someone romantically recently who you feel so safe around and so loved and so supported. It's almost like your nervous system is so relaxed around this person that after you spend time with them, or maybe even in their presence, you may notice that deeper emotions come to the surface that almost feel a little bit overwhelming at times. And this could be like grief or sadness or a fear. I feel like this person or energy is connecting with a new version of yourself that you've only just really become. And that's part of why it feels so emotional for you, because everything about it, I'm hearing it feels so new. There's something novel about this connection. For whoever I'm speaking to here, it's different than anything that you've attracted in romantically in the past. And I'm hearing it's changing you, connecting with this person. With the Hanged Man, I feel that just meeting or encountering this person romantically is giving you a totally new perspective, because with the Two of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups, this is someone who is, I'm hearing, extremely safe emotionally, extremely consistent with you, very open, and they have this level of transparency about their energy as well, where it feels as though you can just naturally trust them and rely upon them. And something about this is just giving you a totally new perspective on what it means to fall in love or to be in love with someone. And it's almost overwhelming at times, because your inner child finally feels safe to play around this person or to be around them and to feel all of the things that you may have even repressed as a child or for a long time. I just feel like something about being around this romantic person is deeply healing for you, but in the process, it may actually be making you really emotional, because their presence is so connected to your heart chakra that it's not just surfacing these love feelings, it's bringing up and like dredging up anything that may have been unprocessed in the heart chakra. And I'm hearing some of this may surprise you, because you do a lot of work on your inner self. You are someone who is very spiritually attuned. I'm hearing that you tend to do inner work and you've been healing on your own, but there are things, patterns, emotions that may have been deeply entrenched in your heart space that you weren't even fully aware of until this person brought them up within you. Now, again, I know that I'm speaking to just a few people here, so I will most likely put this specific information in the title and thumbnail of this video, because I want to be sure that this video aligns with the correct audience, the audience that will resonate with it the most. But I do want to pull some more cards here just to see. And there is that train again. I just want to see what is coming up in the energy. Yeah, this gives me the vibe of a love that is so soft and so open and so transparent that it actually, with why do I deserve someone like you, it brings up this fear almost of not being able to sustain it, even though you've healed so much on your own to the point of being ready for a love like this. I feel like there are still these fears coming up. Now, for some of you, maybe I'm actually speaking from the perspective of the other person. So they could be feeling that way about you, like, how do I deserve you? Or how can I be worthy of you or sustain a connection with you? And I do get that there actually may be quite a bit of mirroring between you and this person. Can I get any more information? What is the truth? I can't come to you now. Oh, there's another energy coming through here. Childhood trauma. Yeah, I feel, okay, so I feel that for some of you with the childhood trauma card, there are these inner child wounds that are surfacing and these fears that are surfacing around being loved in this way. And you may not even fully know where these fears or wounds are coming from, because I'm hearing that they seem to kind of come in out of nowhere, but they're coming to the surface because I feel that for this collective, you've never experienced a love that is this gentle and this soft and this like warm and open. And as a result of that, it is surfacing like unprocessed childhood wounds or like parts of yourself that felt that you had to work to earn someone else's approval or to be good enough for someone else. And I keep getting something about self-consciousness. Like it's almost like one of the ways that this fear can surface. And again, this is so specific. I feel like I'm speaking to a very small group here, but one way this may surface is through suddenly feeling very self-conscious around this person, or maybe after you spend time with them, getting really in your head and overthinking things that you said or did, or the way that you appeared, or anything like that, like feeling insecurities, even though you're a very like naturally confident person and secure person. So you may be wondering like, whoa, what is the truth of this? Like, why is this coming up for me? And I'm hearing that you may even get the urge to like shut it all down or to disconnect, because something about these wounds surfacing may feel very triggering to you, and you may not really understand where it's coming from. But it's ironic because it's actually the softness and the gentleness and the acceptance of this kind of love that is, it's like, it's so unconditional that it's surfacing the parts of you that experienced conditional love and learned through those experiences that you thought love had to be conditional from when you were a child or very young. Yeah, I can't make you happy is coming up here as well. I just feel, now if this isn't relating to you, again, this all could be connecting to the other person, because whenever I channel into different messages, they are threads of energy. So if this isn't relating to how you're feeling, I might be channeling into how the other person is feeling, where they are feeling like these inner child wounds within them being triggered. But the strange thing is, for whoever I'm speaking to, whether it's you or them, it's almost like this is very surprising because they've never felt, or you've never really felt these wounds coming up in this way. And you may not have even consciously realized that you were carrying them. The feeling I get is this love is such a safe container that it brings up the parts of you that had become very heavy that you didn't know you were carrying. I'm hearing by contrast, because it's so soft and gentle and warm that naturally you're more attuned to that warmth. And so when something feels off or something feels like coldness, it's like your system is feeling it in a stronger way, almost like a heightened sensitivity, but really it's just a heightened attunement to real unconditional love that you are now experiencing through this romantic connection. For some of you, I'm getting as well that this sensitivity affects you when you meet or connect or spend time with other people. So for example, you may be in certain environments or in certain connections or friendships or around people where you used to be able to tolerate the one-sidedness or like the heaviness of that dynamic. But because this romantic person is attuning you so highly to this feeling of softness and unconditional support and love and openness and presence, you may find that you're actually becoming more sensitive. Like when you're around people or environments that do not treat you with that kind of energy, you may have overlooked it in the past and just kind of shouldered the burden of that subconsciously, like without even really consciously choosing to take on that burden. But now the burden is becoming evident. So you may actually find that you are seeing certain people and connections and situations in your life with a greater sense of clarity, and maybe even a clarity that feels, I don't want to say that this clarity feels like off-putting, because I feel that you are accepting of this clarity, but it might actually feel a little overwhelming at times when this clarity comes in, just in terms of like how quickly it comes in and how clear things finally appear. And you may find yourself saying to yourself, I can't believe I never really recognized that my bond with this friend or this other person had become so heavy, or that I was always the one trying to, like, I keep for some reason seeing someone who's always like making conversation, asking questions, putting in effort, keeping the conversation going. And then it's like you're around this person romantically who is so like reciprocated with you and checking in with you and supporting you, that when you go back into those other environments or situations where it's really unbalanced and you're doing all of that emotional labor, it becomes more evident to you in a more conscious way, if that makes sense. So I know this has been a bit of a strange message and a very specific one as well, but the key theme that seems to be coming through here is the presence of this person in your life seems to be healing you on such a deep level. And it's completely normal that when you finally experience something so warm and real and genuine and soft and unconditional, it would naturally bring up the parts of you that may have been conditionally loved in the past or may still be in conditional love kinds of scenarios or situations. And I'm just getting this message of being really kind to yourself and giving yourself the permission to keep leaning into this connection that feels good, even if it's just one baby step at a time. You don't have to figure it out all at once, but this is in your life for a reason. It's a blessing that's come into your life, but one that you've also actively prepared yourself for. You've earned experiencing this kind of warmth and affection from another person, and it's what you've been desiring. And I feel that when those emotions surface that we might label as negative, or you begin to feel like a raw vulnerability, there can be this tendency to want to shut it all down or like sabotage it, to pull away. But I feel that your heart knows that you're meant to be allowing yourself to lean into this and to experience this. And it's really a gift that you're giving yourself to allow yourself to experience this as well. So I am going to go ahead and close the reading here. If this is connecting for you, I would really recommend checking out some of my subliminals, which you can incorporate into your daily manifestation rituals and routines. Specifically, I would really recommend a subliminal I've created for inner child healing. I've not recommended this one in a while, but this will help you to heal any inner child triggers or wounds that come up for you. Also, I almost forgot, I just created one called Past, Present, Future Self Merge. And this one would be so powerful for you because it's meant to really help you to process and heal from anything that you may be holding from the past, to also stay fully present in the highest version of yourself now, and to at the same time align with and embody the energy of your highest ideal moving into the future, essentially to gain wisdom from your future self subconsciously, while healing subconsciously from any wounds that may have occurred to the past version of yourself, to bring all of your full power back into the present. This is one of the most new subliminals I've added to the app, so I will leave a link for that as well. But there are so many different subliminals in the app to explore. I've created over 140 of them for things like appearance, for mindset, mood, love, relationships, money, business, and so many other things as well. And when you create a free trial account in the app, you can listen to any subliminal in 10 different background sound options. You can create your own custom private playlists, and you can even read the affirmations while you are listening. Personally, I've found subliminals to be the most powerful tool in shifting my mindset, magnetizing my energy, and manifesting in my own life. I love them so much. I continue to use them every single day. And the Subliminals app I've created has over 1,500 reviews in the App Store and a 4.9 star overall rating. So many people are seeing really powerful results using this app as well. And I would love for you to try it out for yourself. So the link to get the app and get started, if this is something you're interested in, is in the pinned comment or description box underneath this video. But otherwise, I'm going to close things out here. Thank you so much for sharing this time and space with me here today. And I hope you have a beautiful start to your week.